Yo, yo, what is the business? This your boy Trading 381 coming at y'all with another Division 2 video. I know it has been a whole hot minute since your boy has sent a video out, and that is because Baby Agent has been taking up all of my time. She is not playing. I swear she is dropping a little bit of coffee and Adderall in her bottle at night because she is not sleeping. And when she isn't sleeping, I ain't sleeping. So, without further ado, let's talk about the content that I have missed out on. Yo, the retaliation. Let's start with that, right? So, the retaliation is pretty much where you run around the whole map, whether it's DC, New York, or Brooklyn, and you do a couple of whatever side missions, control points, strongholds, whatever. Like as you can see, you got hyenas, true sons, outcasts, cleaners, and rikers. And you build up that little meter. As you can see, I am actually at, I guess that's 75% on the outcast, regardless of that fact. Then you run a retaliation where a couple of control points get overrun and you go through in a time limit and you knock them out. Not gonna lie to y'all, they are absolutely fun. Like I run it on heroic and they're pretty easy. They're not that complicated. The first time I ran it, I did die because I didn't know anything about the kill squad and they came out immediately when I left the safe house with no cover and they wrecked your boy. Regardless of that fact, uh, you run the control points, you knock them out, and then you get a retaliation. And the bonus is at the very end, as you can see, I am 55 of 55, where you can craft these particular exotics. And some of you are wondering, like, what the hell would I want to do with these exotics? Well, there's two things you can do. As you can see, I can craft an Acosta knee pads. I can, you know, running the memento right now. I can craft a lot of stuff, and then on my main character, I don't particularly need them. Like I have all the exotics. I can go into my inventory and I can pull them out. As you can see, I got all of them here. I even got an additional eagle bearer that I got from the incursion when they dropped in the incursion. Got a couple memento backpacks, but if you don't have them, if you're a newer agent, if you want to, um, create a new character, then you need something. Boom, there it is. Additionally, if you are running a hardcore character, right? If you're running a hardcore character, once you reach level 40, the I'm not sure yet. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that when you merge your character's profiles from the craftable items, I believe that all that stuff comes travels with it, and if it does, then that helps out tremendously because I, believe it or not, have been running a hardcore character recently, and yes, I did die. I know. I meant to put the video out there, but then the baby came. But I did die because I went into the summit and didn't realize I was on floor 99. I went out there and the hunters smacked your boy up real good. I also didn't know that they changed the floor 100 where you can't stay in that door anymore. You have to go out and the hunters pretty much spawn. But live and learn. Gotta run it again. Do it all over again. Item number two. I'm only going to cover just, I think, three things. Is that I missed out on the automatic pistol. Yeah, like the whole master mission, getting the automatic pistol. Yep, missed that too because baby agent came. By the way, she came 8 weeks early and she's doing very well right now. She's at her grandparents, chilling for a couple of hours, which allows me to come over here and make this video. Which, by the way, she is cute as a freaking button. Uh, but that's neither here nor there. Because I'm biased. She is my daughter. But um, I missed out on the automatic pistol, which, from what I heard from a clanmate, that they're going to, toward the end of this month, give it to everybody. Don't know when. Let me check my grants to make sure, because maybe it's today. I don't know. Today is Tuesday, update day. But they said he said that they're gonna grant the pistol to everybody, and then at the end of the scout, week 13 on the scout, they're going to no pistol. They're going to give it to at the end of they're going to give us a new exotic. If that's true, kudos to the devs on that, because if I had known about the master mission, I said, because truth be told, it's not an exploit for those who don't know. Yes, you want to say it's unintended, it is, but I can go in there and I can run this master mission, or you could go in there and run it randomly, and it's not your fault that you got the gun. Like if I was a person who just wanted to run the master mission because I didn't do it before, guess what? I'm gonna run it. Period. And if I get the gun, then I just happen to get the gun. So therefore, if they ban me just for doing something randomly like that, then they have to hold themselves accountable for making that mistake. That's not on you. That's on them. But I'm pretty sure all the other YouTubers have explained that point to y'all. So it wasn't a bannable offense. But yeah, me personally going in there and doing it, I intentionally went in there. I would have intentionally went in there and did it. But still, it doesn't change the fact that it could be done you know, without intentionally trying. That's number two. Number three, and the main thing. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the gear set that I run when I run the retaliation. It's so easy when you're running it with negotiators because you pretty much keep all the name bosses and all of those are walking targets for marks. You can honestly you can probably run the negotiator chess piece on that to get yourself 5 marks. I don't have one, but yeah, this bill, believe it or not, wrecks retaliation. Like you can run it with the Coyote's mask, or you can run it with the Catharsis, or heck, even the Tinkerer. Which, by the way, like I said, number three, I stayed away from the Tinkerer mask because of the DPS glitch, and I don't know if it's still a thing, which I still need to put that in my inventory. Like I don't trust it right now. So for those of you who are running it, run it at your own accord. But I personally do not trust this mask just yet. Oh, that was the catalyst. Not was it the catalyst? I could have sworn it was the catalyst, but whatever. Regardless of that fact, they look too similar. I'm not trusting that mask just yet because that DPS glitch. I don't know how it worked, and I've seen it happen. I got video because there's a guy running the Bighorn, and he had determined proc on his Bighorn, and he was wrecking shit. Excuse my language, but he was literally. We were in the legendary capital building. This happened like 4 weeks ago, and he was dominating in the Capitol building, wrecking stuff with determined. And I was like, how in the hell is he doing this? And then my homie Sel, my clanmate, he pointed out like he got determined procced on his bighorn. And I was like, and I asked him, I even put in the game chat, yo, how do you have determined procced on your bighorn? And he didn't respond, and then he left the group. And so, yeah, that was an actual thing. But if you want a retaliation, try negotiated doing. I run mine with 4 blues, well technically 5 with the catharsis. But the coyotes mask work just as fine. Also, you get 70 rounds on the St. Elmo's, and by the way, the Dare, I mean not the Dare, the GR9, that is that LMG. I don't know how I slept on this one the way I did, but that is that LMG. It is crazy strong. I don't know why this is not whatever, but it is crazy strong. And this is gonna segue to my fourth point. Like of the video. Like I said, I'm not gonna try to make this one too long. And every time I say that, I end up like 40 minutes into the video, which I think I'm now 8 minutes in. So we're doing good. Fourth point: this build has made its way into the conversation. Right? Everybody's running around saying that this tipping scale is the build, right? And I run it 1,000 different ways. I'm not gonna say 1,000. I run it like 4 or 5 different ways, and this seems to be my second favorite way to run it. My first favorite, obviously, is with the Memento backpack because I love survivability. For those of you that don't know, I love survivability. Give me the ability to get my shots off, and that's the build for me. And this one stacks up on the crit chance, or crit damage. I'm sorry, not just, let's read it the way it is. Its shooting build stacks to the maximum of 50. Each stack provides 0.5% weapon handling and 4% critical hit damage. Lose 6 stacks per second while not shooting. No stacks are lost if an enemy is suppressed. The backpack allows you to take that zero point 0.5 and that 4% and uh, sorry, it's the backpack gives you snowball, increasing the critical hit damage received per stack from 4 to 7, which doesn't affect the weapon handler. I don't understand why, but the critical hit damage goes from 4% to 7%. That means that if instead of getting at max 200% crit damage, which is the 4%, you end up with 350%, which is the 7%, because you have to multiply the 7 times 50, you get 350. Y'all know how to do math. I'm not going to do it for you. You understand that. Um, the chess piece, on the other hand, which I don't run and I don't recommend you running it because it gives you 50 to 75%, which changes the math just a little bit, but not much. You end up getting 25% increase off of what you get from the initial stacks. Now, here's the tricky part about this build, and this is the part that I hate the most. Um, One, it's not like strikers where you take hits and you build stacks. No, this is just like the iron long. This is the part that I hate the most about it. All I have to do is fire my gun. I don't have to hit a damn thing. I just have to fire my gun, and I'm building stacks. See that now I'm at 100%. That is the thing with this particular tipping scale build. I don't have to hit a damn thing. I just have to fire the gun to build the stacks. So you need, in essence, a gun with a large magazine size. As you can see, the GR9 is that with this build is hitting that with 260. That's base. If I want to, I can take off this reload speed, which is 20%, which is what you want to have on a build like this, and I can put this the rounds on, and I can end up with 305, giving me a larger magazine size and giving me a pretty much a huge a huge amount of time to fire. And as you can see, I'm stacked up again, and that puts my crit damage with this build at 296. That's just with the memento. If I take it off and I put on the backpack and do the same thing all over again, like I said, I don't have to hit the target. I'm just using this for demonstration purpose. So as you can see, stacks are building up, and it takes forever for the stacks to build up, which is why I don't recommend the chest piece. And boom, I'm hitting 1,000,000 on the damage, on the headshot damage. My critical hit damage is at 439.9. Another caveat, another con against this build is that the stacks they dissipate so fast. Like it takes forever to build up, and they immediately disappear when you reload. Look at that, gone. The moment I'm done reloading, I have to build my stacks up again. So when it comes down to getting the critical hit damage, this is in essence a poor man's Umbra initiative. Hands down, it is. Umbra initiative gives you the crit damage right off the bat. To pop out of cover, you immediately get the critical hit damage, and it dissipates slowly. And there's a way to make sure that it dissipates slowly as you keep running. You can do a cover to cover, or you can sprint, and it slows down the depreciation of the stacks. This one, the build says so in it, you lose 6 stacks per second. Like that is huge. So this is a poor man's Umbra initiative. Is it a build that is going to replace strikers? Absolutely not. Strikers still is the alpha dog in this thing because the stacks are built quickly and they dissipate slowly. This one, the stacks build slow and they dissipate quickly. They depreciate so fast. On a reload, they dissipate. So is it a Striker's replacement or Umbra replacement? No. But is it a fun build? Absolutely. I actually have this build now in my rotation because of the fact that it is still a viable build. It is still a fun build. And it is not a build that is easily cheesed. And in my opinion, just because of my playstyle and the way I like to run things, this has become the build that I actually like to run. It's not my favorite build. My favorite is absolutely Negotiator's Dilemma. That is my go-to build right there. Negotiator's Dilemma is the build that I will put on every single day to run stuff. Uh, my second is Strikers, and then it's the System Corruption, and then Heartbreakers if I'm in a pinch. And then I vary here and there, but this build has actually it made its way into my top five rotation. I actually like it. I like the magazine size. I like the critical hit damage. Is it stronger than True Patriot? On on a certain degree, it kind of is, but True Patriot kind of has that that it factor where it gives you the magazine size and it gives you the ammo capacity size and it gives you weapon damage and a small amount of heals. So True Patriot is still up there for me. But if you want to run this build, I suggest you run it with the backpack or without. I mean, I honestly, the difference between a 200% crit damage and 350 is huge. But remember, the stacks dissipate really, really quickly. So you don't technically, realistically stay in that 350% range. Truth be told, is this is right here is where you'll end up being every single time, halfway through, and that puts you at, for me, 208 on the crit damage. So having the backpack is like, eh. You go from 208 to I think what is it? I think it's like 280 midway through. 250 midway through. 253. So this just because the stacks dissipate so fast, this build isn't really something that's viable for crit damage. But on the chance that you do want to run it, I like it. I really like this build. It's good with the St. Elmo's because you end up with 93 rounds on your St. Elmo's. Or you can run it with the Eagle Bear if you don't have. You can run it with anything. Honestly, the ARs are definitely an option. I choose the Eagle Bear and the St. Elmo's because they give me a max on the higher than max ammo capacity or magazine size because I end up with 73 on the 78 on the Eagle Bear and 93 on the St. Elmo's, which is on par with the LMGs, and the reload speed isn't as long. So it gives me the ability to hit the cap and still do my thing. Now, that is your boy giving y'all the breakdown of this tipping scale. Run it, don't run it. I run mine with the Seska with Obliterate. Like on most of my builds, I'm running Seska with Obliterate. Why? Because Seska gives me the critical hit chance. So you see, I'm already at 57% on the cap on that. The Eagle Bear, I think I'm at 60 with the no, I'm at 57 with the St. Elmo's, with the Chameleon, which is another one of my favorite. At still 57% every single time. So, and remember the Chameleon gives you once you get the headshots and all that good stuff, it gives you crit damage as well. So now I'm sitting at, well, I don't think it shows on that, but the crit damage with the thing is an additional 50%. Another one that you can run, and I didn't realize it was so good. The G36, the Caretaker. You build the crit damage up on here, and then once you get the kill, you get another additional 90% crit damage. So if you're gonna run it with the Caretaker. That's pretty good. I mean, like the rate of fire isn't phenomenal. The damage isn't like great, but once you get the kill, the crit damage is there. But that's this build. It is what it is. Like I said, my favorite still is Negotiator's Dilemma. Like top five, number one is going to be Negotiator's Dilemma, just because of that ability to mark a few enemies and focus only on one and still kill three. And I get a nice little survivability. But just for fun, seriously, run this build. Tipping scale is there. It's not overpowered. It's not overwhelming. It's not compared to Striker. Stop. For those who are saying it is better than Striker, those who are saying it is like it is D build, it is OP. It is not. It is honestly mid at best. It's not cheesable. that I know of. If you know anybody who's out there cheesing it, I don't run it with the Tinkerer and all this good stuff. So yeah, try it out. Like I said, it's pretty fun. As you can see, and once again, I'm at 277. You know, halfway through. But yeah, that's it. Like I do apologize to those of you who subscribed to me that I haven't been here. But like I said, Baby Agent has taken up a lot of the time. Other than that, it's your boy Trady381. If y'all got any questions on how I run mine, is it better to run it with reds or whatnot? You can, you really can. You can throw on a couple of reds, but for me, I'm always gonna promote at least four blue cores just because survivability is there. Like I said, you miss 100% of the shots that you can't take. You know what I mean? So if they're too busy downing you and you're too busy in the revive state just because you're running all reds, then you're not building your stacks up because you're too busy picking yourself up or somebody picking you up. So I promote survivability. But if you can get that jump and get them shots off right off the back and build them stacks up with all red build, more power to you. Do your thing. It is a strong build, especially when you're running with a couple of reds. I think I run mine with one red at times, and even then, like the survivability is a little bit sketchy. And I run it with crit chance all the way through. I could run it with crit damage. I could, but I want to be able to hit the cap. So once you hit the cap, I'm at 60% on the critical hit chance on all that. I think my blue core came with crit damage. Yeah, I hit the cap on that one. I guess I could roll crit chance on that one, or crit damage on that one since it's a red core. Let's see what that looks like. I think I'm at 57%, which is like I said. If anybody who knows statistics, 3% is not is barely enough to make a significant statistical difference. So 57 and 60%, I'm just wasting an additional 3% running the crit chance mod on that one. So or having a crit chance attribute in there. So I get an additional crit damage. I'm at 125. Based on that 12%. So, but either way it go, you know, that is my red. Like I said, I'm running three reds, three blues, one, two, three. Well, technically four if you count the memento, and that is one, two, three. Yeah. So, but yeah, let me know how you run your builds. Let me know what you think about the new retaliation mode. By the way, it is absolutely fun. Like y'all gotta play that, and the bonuses are a perk. Like for real, because once I get my hardcore character back up to 40, by the way, it's a sore spot if you don't know. Once I get it back up to 40, I'm going to be crafting a memento backpack. I'm going to be running strikers, probably a little bit of tipping scale, but definitely no negotiator's dilemma. Trying to get to that point to where I can, get accustomed to a hardcore. Because by the way, the hardcore stuff gets your heart pumping. But yeah, the retaliation is fun. I was waiting on any type of information on whether or not we're going to get a legendary retaliation. I thought we were, but we don't have one yet at all. That is not the one that I picked. What's going on? But other than that, yeah, the new stuff is really, really fun. Waiting on the survival, not really like I like survival, but it's not one of those ones like, I got to do it. But having a new survival here is pretty fun. I'm actually starting to dive more into New York, doing control points there, because the New York map is still a beautiful map. It's just that it's not fun as DC. DC is huge. It keeps you engaged. It has more missions. It has more uh, activities running here and there. But other than that, this is your boy Trade 381. Y'all take it easy. If there's anything y'all want to say, go ahead and post it in the comment section. I don't care if it's negative. I don't care if it's positive. Put it out there. Like I actually do read them all, and I have a huge back, so a huge spine. So if you got something negative to say, keep it coming. At least you being honest and you being real with yourself. And I'm gonna be as real as I can be. I'm gonna be as organic as I can be. Your boy's about to go ahead and run this legendary though. I tell you that much. Uh, because I can't miss out on that. By the way, the retaliation also is good for if you want to. uh, stack up on the exotic components because they do after completion give you an exotic cache, depending on how good you run it. So yeah, do your thing. I apologize again that I've been missing, MIA, but baby comes first. Uh, this is a little side gig, but other than that, yo, what was that? Yo, y'all take it easy.